Okay, so here is the bike fully assembled in all her glory. These bikes don't ship with pedals, damn it. I don't have pedals. Rating. Oh, are you kidding me? And that should be perfectly aligned, which is not even close, so scratch that. The moment of truth has arrived. She has arrived. My Specialized, out with the old, in with the new. Because God forbid this stand tips over, weighted it down. So I am very, very excited. I purchased this right from Specialized. I had it shipped to the closest dealer that's in my area. They PDI'd it and they sent it back to me. Also picked up some ergon grips. These are in preparation for my ride to Iceland. So they've got the nice palm rest and then an additional support if needed for some relief on the hand muscles. I also picked up a couple tubeless vials of whatever, because they ship them with tubes even though it's tubeless. I don't know. So, what do we got here? The reflectors, which I most certainly will not be putting on. We got a couple RockShox decals, which would be nice. A couple owner's manuals for the SRAM hydraulic disc brakes. A bunch of other miscellaneous stuff. We got the tubeless valves with whatever other doodads we need. And the, I guess, owner's manual and warranty guide. So, that'll be exciting. Okay. So, a nice saddle that comes with the bike, Specialized branded, called the Body Geometry. A little narrow for my liking, as you can see, compared to my current seat. A little bit on the narrow side, but we'll have to see if I can get used to that. Oh, and you know what I just remembered? These bikes don't ship with pedals, damn it. I don't have pedals. Didn't think I might have to board them off another bike. Didn't think that one through. Okay, so in order of importance, I think this will come out next. Oh, they really packed that in there. You hope they don't bend the rotor. Nice. Big O. Don't worry. Sweet. Nice. And then, I guess it all comes out in one big swoop. Ooh, buddy, there she is. Okay, nothing else in the box. I do have to keep the box because I'm shipping it to Iceland, so that will be needed. It's funny, there's not much assembly required on these bikes. Let me go get my stuff before she rolls away. So this is the tubeless sealant. I picked up 2 of these. I've never run tubeless before. So I guess you need 1 per wheel. So let's see if that'll work. So I really don't know how to start with this because nothing is attached to anything. I've got to get it onto my bike stand. So these are gonna, I guess, okay, those are taped on. So I think I need to put my seat on with a small little Allen key. know, I've never used the green one. Okay, perfect. So I can let's have it on. Hopefully you can see this. None of it fit. That is what I also forgot to pick up. A 1/4 inch torque wrench. You got these Newton meters you gotta work with. I do not want to screw that. Okay. Let's see now. Okay. So, let's mount this bad boy like so. Oh my goodness. Okay. So this is where the fun stuff begins, is taking off all of the shipping plastics and removing the stuff that you don't want. Ooh, buddy, look at that, nice. I'm very, very excited about this bike. Okay, some side cutters, tip of the ice crab. Okay. Well, obviously, you don't cut these. Look at that. Don't know how I feel about that. Look how they put the zip ties for the rear, what do you call it? Shifter. So they've awkwardly put the zip ties for the rear derailleur. They're kind of really awkwardly placed. So I'm just going to trim those down for now. Probably going to end up replacing those because I don't like how they've done that. That's that. Yeah, so it doesn't ship with pedals. I don't know why buy a bike that didn't ship with pedals. I guess every person likes a different style of pedal. But still, you would think that you would get a pedal. Now onto the left side. It's nice to see that they've taken good care in packaging the bike, because I don't know where they ship from, but I presume they would come from the US and Canada, and people like to throw stuff around. So it's nice to see that it was pretty well taken care of. You can see that they used touch-up paint though. Let's see if you can see that. See those little there and there. Obviously they scratched it, and on PDI they touched it up, but not the end of the world. Small little scratch. Okay, a quick little tidy up, and now we're going to move on to the front half. Okay, so I wonder if this tape comes from factory or when they rebox it. I'm sure it's when they rebox it. Ooh. Okay. I am so excited about this bike. I've been looking for a bike, like the perfect bike, for probably close to 7 years. I was gonna buy one in 2020, and then COVID happened, and you couldn't really get anything. So that's when I ended up building this bike, which I use for bikepacking. And yeah, I built it in my little workshop in my garage here. Actually, this is my new garage, but nonetheless. Okay, if I take these off, then I'm gonna have to put on the handlebar, which is hopefully. So I just realized I was talking to myself for like 3 minutes, but that's okay. Okay, where was I? Right, so I'm putting on the handlebars that should just take this tape off. That should be good. I presume they blood the brakes. That's a caliper there. Okay. I'm going to be buying and modifying this bike quite substantially for my ride in Iceland. Because my ride in Iceland is going to be a bikepacking trip as opposed to like a cross-country trip like this bike would be. I've got to have it kind of set up to accommodate that. So that should go just like that, smack that in the middle. Yeah, that should work perfect. Let me just put the second one specific direction. I know it came off that way, so let's put it on the way it came off to avoid any issue. It's funny, when I built my other bike, I had never even worked on a bike in my life. Been riding bikes my entire life. I never really worked on them. So I had no idea what I was doing until I just fiddled around enough to figure out what was happening. And then that's how I got that bike. So those are flat bars. I'm gonna get a stem riser that will rise it as far out as this goes. So probably like 3 inches, and I'll raise it up like this. And I'm gonna have a new handlebar that kind of swings up for that trip. Because it's 1,400 kilometers and it's gonna take me about 10 days, I'm thinking. So I will definitely be sacrificing efficiency for comfort. That is for certain. Today's Friday, it's a beautiful day. Spring is just around the corner. I think the first day of spring is on the 20th, which is next Thursday. It's March 14th today. So I'm very much looking forward to that. So I got this bike, this specifically. So this is the Specialized Chisel HD Hardtail Competition in the large frame. Because I'm 5'11", so I'm kind of between a medium and a large. I think my other bike is a large frame, so it's kind of what I'm used to, so that's kind of why I went with that size. I didn't get measured properly, even though I probably should have. I bought this bike specifically from the Specialized retailer online, because it's the new 2025 model. So I don't know what is fully different over the 2024 previous. They're pretty well the same. Look at that. And it's the aluminum frame. I got that because I am very nervous about the just how temperamental carbon fiber can be in the event of a crash or exposure to stuff. And I kind of want to keep this bike for, I don't know, as long as I've kept that bike. I've had that bike for 14 years. And I've put many of miles on it. But it's nice that there's factory Loctite on these. I guess everything comes factory Loctite, but presumably it doesn't come with pedals, so I would assume, okay, it comes with brake pads at least. Can you imagine? Brake pads sold separately on a bike that you just spent thousands of dollars on. Now, I've always learned, don't go too tight. You can tighten up after. So this was substantially tighter than I had first envisioned it being. So I don't want to damage anything, or kind of force anything on, but I see in all these videos these guys just shoving them on with no issue. And I'm concerned that by doing that, maybe, oh, there we go. Oh, would you look at that, like a glove. That one in there very nicely. Oh no, I don't remember having to, oh, nice. So I've run into two different problems. First, I've only ever owned a bike with like an old school valve. So I can't even put air in these tires because I don't have the proper tool. So I gotta go pick that up tomorrow. Second is, I think my front rotor is bent because I can't get it to line up, which isn't the end of the world. They have tools you can use to unbend them. So I gotta buy pedals and air pump. So one of the things that we gotta get rid of, and I see some guys do it a little aggressively, are these reflectors. Now, if it was my kid's bike, maybe you want to keep them on so they can be seen. But as an adult, I do not want these on my bike. So those are gonna come off. And this is gonna come off. The next thing I gotta get off is this dork disc, as I've heard it referred to as. It's funny, they put like a tamper-proof screw, not really tamper-proof, but if you can see it, I don't know if you can, you put your tool in and it wants to jump out. It's only meant to go in, but not out, but then again. And this dork disc, I don't want to take it off just yet because I don't have, I don't want to damage anything on a brand new bike. So yeah. So I desperately want to ride this bike today. Doesn't have pedals, but I do have a couple ones from just previous builds that I've done. I can see if these threads work. I don't know. I guess they would. Put a little flavor of that. I kind of like these composite pedals. I'm thinking of a blue composite type pedal. I don't know. But I still can't ride it because I don't have air in the tires, which is a bit of an oversight. Okay, so here is the bike fully assembled in all her glory. So to recap, this is the Specialized Chisel, the HD competition version. The HD refers to hardtail, and the competition, you just get a few higher end components than you'd get on just a standard chisel. Mine is spec'd in the large frame size. So it is a full aluminum bike over carbon fiber, which you could get in the Epic version. Up front, we have the Judy Gold RockShox. So this one is a full air ride through axle with a lockout in the front. Moving on to the drivetrain. So this is a SRAM NX Eagle. So it's a 1x12 drivetrain. The rear is a 11 to 50 tooth, connected with a SRAM shifter, click shift. A click shifter, not a quick shift.
The tires are Fast Track Control T5, so these come standard on this bike. I've heard that they're a decent all-around tire. The rims and tire are tubeless ready. I'm currently running tubes just because that's how the bike ships. The tires are a 29 by 2.35, which is a decent width. It's not overly wide. Nothing too notable on that. So for the brakes, we're running a SRAM Level T. So these are 2 piston calipers, which are really nicely paint matched in a metallic blue. Kind of hard to see on camera. The rotor in the rear is 160 mil, and the rotor up front is a 180 mil. So overall, I am very pleased with the design of this bike. One of the really nice features that I realized with this, and I didn't know until I kind of put it together, was this decal is painted within the frame. So it's not a sticker, it is one with the whole bike, which is a very nice feature. And it's a little deceiving. When I purchased this bike, it showed that it was a gloss finish. That is not gloss finish to me, that is a matte finish. But nonetheless, very, very pleased with the overall setup.